am Winona, your gospel girlfriend. I am the girlfriend you can pray with, counsel with, fast with, talk to about the Bible, or you just need that encouraging hug or an encouraging word. I am that same girlfriend who will give you a listening ear when you need to vent about your job, your relationships, or that situation that almost made you forget you were saved, girl. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Welcome to Gospel Girlfriend Podcast. Gospel Girlfriend Podcast inspires and encourages you that although life's journey may be challenging at times, there is nothing too hard for God to handle. Not that sickness or disease, not that financial situation. I mean, absolutely nothing is too hard for God to handle. His word says he is a friend that loves at all times and sticks closer than a brother. So receive this inspirational word for today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your host, Winona, your gospel girlfriend. So let's talk. I love that song. The name of this song is Faith by Galantis and Dolly Parton, featuring Mr. Pro. Hey girlfriends, this is Winona, your gospel girlfriend. I want to thank you so much for tuning in tonight. You know what? I love being able to encourage you guys, and that really lifts me up. That inspires me. But also, you guys listening and tuning in, that encourages me as well, because I like to encourage you guys. So I want to thank you again for tuning in to the Gospel Girlfriend podcast. So let's talk, girlfriends. This week, instead of talking about superpower number 3, I've been in a series talking about my 3 superpowers. I want to pick that last superpower up, which is fight. Superpower number 3. I'm going to pick that conversation up on next week's episode. So tune in, because it's going to be quite powerful. So tonight I want to talk about healing. Healing is such a sensitive and important topic for me, because I have experienced so many levels of healing that God has taken me through. I'm talking about from emotional healing to physical healing. And my healing journey began for me was at the age of 6. I have so many testimonies and experiences of healing that God has taken me through, and I want to share those with you, but I'm going to do that on another episode, because I think it will bless a lot of people, and I want to just completely focus on those testimonies. But tonight I want to speak with you about healing after a divorce. This is a testimony that I don't share often, only when I'm feeling led by God. So just within the last 1 or 2 weeks, I've met quite a few women that are either in the middle of a separation, or they have just gone through a divorce. So they're struggling with their healing, how to walk in their healing. So what I want to do for you tonight is I want to give you 3 keys that helped me to heal after my divorce. So I've been divorced for 6 years now, and at the time that I was going through my divorce, I was also going through the breast cancer journey. So as you can imagine, there was some anger towards my ex. But what I didn't want to happen is I didn't want all of that anger to hinder the healing that I needed in my body. So, because I remember my first chemo treatment, one of the nurses, what she told me, she said, you have to let go of all the worry and all of the stress, because cancer cells feed on that. So what I had to do is I had to find another way to channel all of that anger coming out of that divorce. I had to lean on God so he can show me another way to take my focus off the marriage, off the separation leading to the divorce, and put my focus on going through the treatments, getting through the treatments, and walking in the manifestation of the healing. Because see, it was that healing that God wanted to bless me with. So I didn't have time to focus on the anger, because all that anger, like I said earlier, it causes negative manifestations to take place in your body. I mean, this is something that I believe wholeheartedly. So the 3 keys that I want to share with you, and these 3 keys help to unlock the door for my healing. Key number 1 is I had to let go of the negative conversation about divorce. What am I saying here? I'm talking about the negative religious conversations around divorce. And it was so key for me to be able to let those conversations go, because I had made the decision that I'm going to walk down this path of divorce. I'm no longer going to stay in this marriage because of the circumstances that was going on. Because I made that decision, all of the whispers, other people's opinions, the church opinions, the church status on divorce, that negative stigma around that divorce. For me, I had to completely let it go, because the decision was made. I prayed about it, and that's what I tell women, to pray about decisions in your marriage, and pray. If you are one where you find yourself going down that path of divorce, pray about that pathway. Don't let other people get into your ear. Don't let what other people think or what the church think dictate your decision, because at the end of the day, you are the one that has to make that decision, and you are the one that has to walk down that path. And I just believe that there are a lot of women that feel stuck because they're stuck in a place where they are not happy because of the stigma of divorce in the church. And I'm talking about women who are in the church, even women who are in leadership positions in the church. They find themselves stuck in a place of being miserable because they fear they don't want to go through the guilt, they don't want to go through the shame, and most of all, worrying about what other people would think or say. And that's a conversation between you and God. So what they think or say really doesn't matter. My personal belief is that God did not create marriage for people to be miserable. Period. That's my personal belief. So like I said, this is something that you pray and you take to God, because ultimately your decision is what going to matter. Where is God leading you? Where is He taking you to? Because I'm gonna be honest, sometimes when God takes us down that path of divorce, that's a path where He says, this is what's best for you. I need you to step out here, out of that marriage, out of that relationship, because this is what's best for you. You may be in a place where you're dealing with a toxic marriage or in a toxic relationship, and God is calling you out. Believe me, when you hear the voice of God calling you out of that place, don't take it lightly. Don't take it like, are you really hearing this? Is this God speaking to you? You can't believe that God would tell you something like this. Because believe me, girlfriend, He will. When it's necessary, when your life is dependent upon it. In my case, because I was going through breast cancer at the same time, my life was dependent upon it. So I had to step out in that path of divorce that God was calling me to, because of the healing that I needed. I had to get in a position where now I was fighting for my life. So I want you to be very prayerful in that situation, and letting go of the negative religious conversation, other people's opinions about your decision to go through that divorce. That was key number 1. Key number 2 for me also was forgiveness. You want to let go of that unforgiveness in order to heal. I'm talking about unforgiveness towards your ex-spouse, and unforgiveness of situations, bad conversations, all those disagreements, all of that hurt, whatever it is that took place. And if you replaying it in your mind, what that only does, it keeps you holding on to that anger. And when you hold on to that anger, it opens up the door for bitterness to set in. I have heard stories of women that have been divorced 10 or more years, but yet they still, waste their time, waste their thoughts, their energy, on ways they could sabotage their ex-spouse. Why? Let it go. Girlfriends, believe me, and I know about the hurt. That hurt is real, but you have to move forward with your life. You being bitter and not wanting to forgive only festers into negative manifestations in your body and your emotions. So forgiveness, not just of your ex, but forgiveness of yourself is so key in allowing God to heal. Key number 3, your emotional response. What do I mean by this? So for me, because I was dealing with breast cancer while going through the separation with my ex, my emotional response included a lot of tears and me just being sorry, just telling God sorry. I did a lot of repenting, asking God, and telling God that I was sorry for not being a good wife, or being sorry for things I felt, a responsibility to that I should have did in my marriage, or I could have handled different in the marriage. Well, 2 things. Number 1, there's healing in our tears, and our tears become our prayers that God still hears. So it's okay for your emotional response to, if you need to cry that thing off, you need to shed those tears, let them go. Because as the tears flow, healing is taking place. As the tears flow, those are becoming your prayers. Because sometimes you may be in such a hard place where you can't even pray. Allow those tears to flow, and believe me, those tears are the prayers that God is still hearing. And those tears are the healing that God still has for you. So let the tears flow. And then the second thing is, when I talk about, me telling God sorry for a lot of different things, I wasn't proud of some of the decisions, some of the moments that happened in that marriage. But let me tell you, when I realized that I needed to just let it go, those things that I wasn't proud of, they became teaching moments for me to grow in God. When you stop blaming yourself, God releases the healing and His love over your emotions and over your broken heart. So what I've learned is how to let go of the hurt, the shame, the unforgiveness. When I learned how to do that, I discovered new things about myself that allowed Winona to grow, to heal, and to move forward. So I speak that over you tonight, girlfriends. Let go so that you can grow, heal, and move forward. Amen. Well, girlfriends, it is about that time. I'm so glad that we were able to have this conversation about healing after the divorce tonight. And you can catch Gospel Girlfriend Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Podcast Chasers. Check out my website, WinonaThomas.com. And when you subscribe to my website, you can also receive a free e-devotional ebook entitled Beautiful You on the Inside, which is a healing e-devotional. Well, girlfriends, until next time, stay blessed, be healed, and be thankful. Amen.